How are y'all doing tonight?
Wow.
Fantastic. Great to hear it. Welcome to Angry Cow Poetry in the Rialto living room. I'm excited to have all of you here tonight. As we go through, feel free to provide energy for our poet as our poet is up here. So yes, feel free to holler out. You hear something, feel free to snap. You hear something you like. Poet piece finishes a piece, feel free to cheer, feel free to clap, whatever moves you. I met our feature tonight at a Temple of Passions event up in Cleveland, so we kind of met somewhat middle ground, and was really impressed by the piece, and we started connecting a little bit after that, and everything I've heard since has been great. Nelly B is not just a poet, also an artist, a singer, and I'll let Nelly tell you a little more on all that. Some of you know way more than me. And I'm really excited to hear, a lot more than what I've heard yet. So I'm really excited to be able to bring our feature here tonight. Please welcome to the stage, Nelly B the Artist.
Woo! Yeah!
I like the energy already.
Good evening. Well, my name is Chanel. I go by Nelly B the Artist. I'll tell y'all about my artist name really quick. My last name is Smith, but there's a B in my artist name because I have my dad's last name, but my mom's last name is Blackshear, and so I wanted to keep both of my identities kind of, I guess, alive, and so that's where the B comes from, just in case anyone was wondering. So, Nelly B the Artist. I write poetry, I perform poetry, spoken word, I do sing and I rap. I want to create music like from scratch, produce music. I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. I have a guitar, I'm working on that. So there's things in the works. And I dance. I think that's pretty much it. I am honored to be here tonight. I'm so grateful that Keith asked me to come out. This is my first time in Akron. Woo! Even though I'm from Ohio, I haven't been everywhere yet, so I'm really excited. And you can go ahead and play the song. I just want to share this song with everyone. It's called The Peace of God, or just called Peace of God. I don't know who this artist is. I have no idea. But I found this song, and I literally felt the peace and the joy of God when I was listening to it. And it just makes me want to dance. So I might dance.
Go right ahead.
If y'all want to get up, y'all can get up and dance too. But I just want everyone to kind of be able to dwell in that space that is created in this song. It's very anointed. So. Healing. So I don't know, maybe that is why it speaks to my soul. Because we have a tendency, just as humans, to worry when we take matters into our own hands. I think when we realize that we have a creator who promises to take on our burdens, take away our burdens, and assist us through life, guide us and hold our hand, and kind of takes away that tendency to lean on worry, and it gives you a confidence, and then you feel lighter, and you're able to really bask in your joy and in the peace that is provided to us freely. So, welcome. Hello, my name's Nelly. Hi, nice to meet you guys. The peace of God surpasses all understanding of life. first piece that I'm gonna do is the piece that I shared with Keith for his annual. Remind me of the name of it, Keith.
Outdoor Voices and
Outdoor Voices.
Yep.
Yes. This is he had me like create this video. Well, he didn't make me do it, but I feel like the standard was set. And so I went ahead and created a piece of content to match the vibe of the poem. And apparently it was successful because he loved it.
I did.
So.
Still love it.
So I don't have a piece of content to show you, but I will be the walking piece of content, I guess, for the day. Yeah, you can go ahead and. I'm trying up just a little bit. Flashback of the time the ex who was never mine mistook me for the godmother of Satan's intentions. He suffocated my epiphanic accountability beneath the confines of his projections, never offering a heart nor a hug nor a hand, but a smug which said my tears of sorrow would stain his pretty brown cocoa-coated skin, as if his skin is made of heaven, as if heaven had it made known we were formed of the same dirt, the way God pulled me out from his rib and said, within you, my child, a piece of he will always live. He said, within me, a piece of he will always live. A piece of he would always live. A piece of he is a piece of him, from a piece of they and a piece of them. And then he looked to him and said that piece of her will always be a reflection of what you give. And at first I was lost because I felt like I gave everything. And no, that is not my reasoning for why a nigga should ride for me. It's more so my declaration for why true love would surely serve me reciprocity. Why it would inevitably choose to serve the God in me just as I do. And so now, looking back, I actually think I see what God meant. See, because sometimes the gift of free will feels like an interest fee on his promises, and sometimes pure intentions and bad timing end up being a blueprint for how to deconstruct our destiny sometimes. Increasing the probability of perfect just exceeds the nature of man's capacity. So listen, I would never call my father a liar, but I know a whispering reassurance of husband when I hear it, for I have collected threads of security from the cushioning blankets of Christ just to call every bed we lie in together holy. So excuse me if I have a hard time understanding the disconnect between love and choice, between these words and my voice, between my mental health and my pride, as I self-love my mind into this perpetually idealistic tide that leaves me wallowing in the waves of our chemistry until I find myself washed up on the shores of his insecurities long before he decides his only means of survival calls me to be his sacrifice.
Woo!
Thank you. Ooh, Jesus. That piece is called Reality. That's the title. Like, it's called Reality. The whole thing, that whole phrase. It's called Reality. And from the moment that it's introduced in the line, I had a flashback. That's literally what transpired. I got lost in a flashback, and I was sharing dialogue with the Holy Spirit, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a poem. And so I immediately pulled out a pen and paper and started to write and paint a picture of what it feels like for your reality to be kind of broken by truth. so I hope that you enjoyed it. Hi. You look familiar. What's your name?
You were on the same stage.
Huh?
You were on the same stage when I met you.
Ah. Nice to see you again. Okay. So I'll go on to the next piece. I'll just read because I don't know everything by heart. I'm trying, y'all. I really am. One day, I will.
You good? You good?
But
We good. We write too much to memorize everything.
you know. Also, I was just talking with Keith. I am working on a book right now. So I have this project, collective project. It's multidimensional. It's titled Generations of Her. And basically I opened up my platform to the community of women to invite them into my process of healing through my outlet, through my expressive artistry, and kind of lead the way, create a segue for them to do the same, whether that looks like painting, whether that looks like spoken word, whether that looks like music, however it looks for them, just to understand that process of executing what you feel, putting it into a piece of art. And I said all that to say, so part of it is music. There's a musical aspect of it. I call them chapters. That's how it was given to me in my mind, and so that's how I've been translating it. Chapter 1 was music. There's a music album that I'm working on. Chapter 2 is a short film that I'm working on, and I've invited in women, and it kind of depicts the storyline of healing. And I'm also writing a book. And so some of the pieces that I'm sharing with you will be from the book. The ones that are not spoken word. I don't think I'll have spoken word in the book, but I'm still creating it. So sometimes I think we forget. We forget to remember. To remember what it feels like to live in a moment of forever. Because we allow ourselves to get distracted by time, by our minds, by what if, by what isn't. We become so lost in where we could be and what could be differently. Searching for a single crack or crook in a frame that's been momentarily yet perfectly placed, that we forget to become lost in where we'd rather be and where we are at peace. Failing to realize we are that frame, drawing our voices and painting our emotions in the form of that everlasting picture we create. I, for one, don't want to forget, though I'm not sure I want to remember. But what I do know is that I want to be right here, right now, right in this very moment, with you, with self, with the one who created, all cradled into the palm of my hands. And I want that little piece of forever to feel like forevermore, even when it no longer exists. Because even forever never truly exists, it just is. And that is what moments should mean, how moments should feel. Never having to exist, always having to be. So that way, no frame ever has to be placed around a picture we never have to stop creating. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, that one didn't have a title. I wrote that my inspiration, my muse, was reminiscing about loved ones that I've lost and realizing that I don't have to forget the moments that were beautiful just because this moment hurts, you know? So I hope that resonated with all of you, at least one of you. This next one, I guess the title will come out as I read it. Her bones ache of all them thorns. She once found to be her resting place, her refuge. They used to call her flower. Like petals, her skin would shed the ways she was no longer alive. Her stem remained, though she was no longer alive. They used to call her delicate until she rose again, until they dug down deep and got a good look into that soil, until the roots began to testify that she was already called her. So if you didn't catch it, it was titled Her. I've never shared these. Wow. Okay.
Give it up for the first time listening.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is very interesting for me. I'm kind of nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
Relax. This
You're a
your time.
naturalist.
Okay. Thank y'all. One more. First of all,
She's singing.
singing.
She is singing.
Is that live?
It sounds like
But
Wow.
it's a dope background.
It
So what you're
is.
doing here is amazing. Like,
Hey.
Wow, it is.
Okay, I love that. Congratulations to her, because she's killing it. Okay. Hello, mind. I hear you whispering. Yellow into the skies, whimpering mellow cries, which call my heart out by name, so that these storms don't get to. They don't get to wind my faith up in their whirling winds. They don't get to wash away my joy by the force of every high tide. They don't get to spit my tears out on the pavement to convince me my imperfect reaps the weathering of sin. These skies, which shine down in open heaven, will invite you in to weed out my doubts with the ripest of Eden's fruit, watered by righteous truths, held within these candid tears as the prayers of my heart produce something more profound. Intercession. Thank y'all so much. So yeah, those are just a few. Most of them, the shorter ones, are the ones that'll be that'll be included in my book, Generations of Her, which just depicts the story of womanhood, and how every woman truly shares the same journey, although the manifestation of the story and all the circumstances might look different. But there's adversity, and there's the process of healing, and there's the breakthrough, and there's the growing and the flourishing, and the becoming, and the embracing of womanhood in every woman's story. And so that's why it's titled Generations of Her, because I feel like we pass the baton on to the next generation. There's another opportunity there to kind of mirror this woman before you, but also to learn from her mistakes and learn from her trials and errors. So, thank you so much. I'll be back up.
All right, one more time for Nelly B the Artist. So on deck we have defining, but coming to the mic right now, please welcome Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve Price. I am a writer and advocate from Canton, Ohio. I have a couple poems here. Most of my poetry is about work and recovery, but I'm also trying, and I want to emphasize trying to do more about my personal life. Okay, the first poem is Big Plans. I had big plans of who I would be, but now life looks different to me. I had a mental breakdown and was put on meds. The life I had planned is not dead. It's not all bad, I must say. I had a lot of guilt anyway. I will no longer be a stuffed shirt, sitting at a desk, sometimes barely alert. I am a floater and supply the machine operators on the assembly line. I won't have what I had before, but that's just fine. I wish they would pay me more, because I usually go home tired and sore. My coworkers like to give me a hard time. This one is called Displaced with Rihanna. We met at a club that made me uncomfortable, but I was middle-aged, never married, trying to be like everyone else in a factory. You said you spent 2 years in your apartment alone and needed help with bills and phone. I wondered if you checked me out to see what I was about. I did the same, did not complain, working overtime. In debt from community college loans, you were in a bind, unable to find a way through. You did what you had to do, sometimes angry with me, only supporting you halfway. You suffered from depression. I had a breakdown and a hospitalization. We both took medication. We had some fun, but I wasn't the one who could do enough to make things right or fight for you. I felt I gave you stability. You said I was distant emotionally. I sent many letters trying to make it better. During your ups and downs, everything seemed temporary. You wanted a place of your own instead of living with me. I paid your deposit and helped you move in, but didn't get a key. I now see that you wanted to be included.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Steve's become a real faithful regular here. I really appreciate you coming up and blessing the mic. On deck, we have Chosen, but coming to the stage right now, please welcome Defining.
Oh my God, I know her.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a piece called Seasons Past. It's a piece about an argument me and my sister had, but it kind of hurt my feelings.
I know that's right. I just went through the same thing.
Right? Be real sometimes. Crazy. You're crazy for feeling so lonely. You're crazy. You're crazy for feeling so blue. As many years that you're able to have, there's always many moments that you will never forget. Better yet, it'll make you want to reminisce and wish that you could rewind time to relive it, like being in spring's rain before the transition into summer's dry times, or watching the autumn leaves dance in the sky before the winter freezing. I'm closer to death from visiting crossroads than I am to the possibility of standing by my emotions. I had a conversation with my sister that made me think for a moment, telling me how my Halloween makeup caused an incident. I didn't understand, so I told her to explain it, and she said, well, there was a lot of bloodshed in the same place we drew the picture, and if you touch my face, I might have the same possible chance of a similar ending, but I painted a half a skull on my second oldest brother's face for Halloween. In the year 2019, my anger started to flare up like a summer's day, hotter than 108 degrees. How the fuck can you point the finger at me? When I was at home, and nowhere to be found at the scene, I started to put the pieces together before understanding that I didn't know what those sacred pagan holidays really mean. I never thought that August 29th of the year 2020 would be the last fall of a shot to the same side that I painted the image regretting, the blossoming of problems that spring and the immediate guilt of. It was my fault. It was the power of my art. Maybe also if I didn't tap that skull on his arm, death would have never caught a whiff of his scent. Standing by his side aware of the single bullet that was about to hit, I was utterly devastated. While my tears never flowed from the cold as the winter froze my skin until it was tough enough for my feelings to never get exposed, but I never thought that I would be having this conversation coming out now. The room looks different without me seeing my brother's smile. I couldn't hold back my tears after a year displaying the illusion of me still being strong, but now I'm the one with the question of, why was his shot to the head different from my own? Why did I die and come back to life, but for my brother he's permanently gone? Why did the impact of his death make me become the villain? And I understand that the past can't be called back again, but how was I to blame for the trigger being pulled to make his life end? Yet this is just another view into my life's natural cycle of changing seasons. Crazy, you're crazy for feeling so lonely. You're crazy. You're crazy for feeling so blue. Peace.
You know, when you started singing, and then you stopped, and I was like, I want to hear more, and you gave me more. I appreciate that. Great piece, but also loved your voice. That's amazing. All right, so on deck we have Tavia coming to the stage right now. Please welcome Chosen.
Chosen!
Good.
This piece is entitled Gesture. In a realm where laughter reigns supreme, dwelt the greatest jester, unseen, much like a surreal dream. With painted faces and colorful attire, he danced better than the rest. Their laughter was orgasmic, setting hearts on fire. Yet always misunderstood was his jester soul. For his smile, wit, and humor took a heavy toll. See, they saw him as merely an entertainer, nothing more, they were told. But beneath his facade, in depth, his sad story left untold. Behind his mask hid his truest fears. And through his jests and pranks, he shed his truest tears. His laughter echoed, only as a shield to his pain. See, a misunderstood gesture held forever in vain. But those moments where the world fell silent and still, a glimpse through his mask, we see his bloodshot eyes, tears did spill. But his jest held wisdom and emotion beyond what they knew. But in those moments where the world fell silent and still, through his mask we see his bloodshot eyes, tears did spill. For his jest held wisdom beyond what they knew. So let us not judge the way he wore his mask, but listen closely, for those tales held more. A misunderstood jester, in depths untold. His laughter did jest, a story behold.
Right.
If you would like, you can follow me on IG under The Chosen 90. I appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you.
My God.
All right, that is Chosen's second time here. First time up blessing the mic at this event. Appreciate you coming up here. Excellent. All right, on deck we have the Moop Man. But coming to the stage right now, please welcome Tavia.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Doing
Great.
good.
Awesome. So I am not a poet. I am a singer. I didn't have anything prepared. I'm just gonna sing an instrumental, one of my favorite songs by Cleo Soul. Maybe get you some dance moves in. But yeah, here we go. Just sway, just rock, get the feel the instrumental. I don't want you going nowhere, 'cause on the corner of my mind helps my body to unwind. Oh, don't waste time. You said you love the way I notice how you look into my eyes right before we cross the line. Oh, don't waste no time. Uh-oh. Break it down, break it down, break it down. Keep me safe in your arms, safe in your arms. There's a warmth in your kiss. Don't let go from your grip. Oh, you wanna know how I don't wanna know. You wanna think through, you wanna give me love. Hey, 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 hey. This is a long song, so I'm gonna end it for you. Oh, I want to know. A little bit about me. Tavia is my name from Toledo. I used to perform and do things, but I slowed down to write my album. I have a couple features out, so if you look up Tavia Ellis. But yes, this time next year, I will have my first official 12-song album out. And I would love to share with you guys. I'm a little rusty from performing because I literally took like a year plus off. So thank you guys.
Instagram.
Tavi Talks, Tavi and then Talks. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
All right, this mic's been on fire. It's not going to stop. On deck, we have Kristie, but please welcome to the stage the Moop Man.
Yeah. Anticipation. Found these in my bag earlier. Don't forget those. My 2 cents. I feel like the performance has started already. I think this is all part of this performance. I got the same dress at home. Twinsies. No, he didn't. I haven't even done it yet. Oh, I'm putting it on the wrong way, am I? I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it wrong at all. putting this in your fucking poetry books, motherfuckers. Have you ever noticed, look really carefully, at Wendy's, how looks like it spells out the word mom, M-O-M. You think Wendy has any kids? Maybe she just likes remembering her own mom. Who here knows what a palindrome is?
A poem read backwards and forwards.
Close. Doesn't have to be a poem.
Or something.
Be anything forwards and backwards. So the word mom, M-O-M, faces are kind of M-O-M, kind of.
Or upside down as well.
Whew.
Ambergram.
Ambergram. I love it. I'd like to tell you about my mom. I am a walking Leanne Clark Appreciation Society and Museum. Sometimes literally, sometimes very literally, and often just figuratively. I'd love to tell you about my mom almost any day of the week, unless I'm asleep or really busy doing something else. But usually I'm playing by myself. Would happily tell you about my mom. We'll get there. This clock isn't going anywhere. It's not working. It's a great one to have right now. The Moop Man was born 2013. That's not what I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about these pennies. 2010 and 2014. I didn't choose these pennies in advance. It's part of the magic trick. In 2010, I walked 500 miles in Spain with my brother and dad. That was excruciating, but worth doing. In 2014, I walked 500 miles from Cleveland Heights to Washington, D.C., and that was excruciating and exquisite. I highly recommend it. I've walked 500 more, but that wasn't the song. I have collapsed at the various people's doors. In the end of 2014, I met this woman, who knows Amanda Palmer. She is part of the poetry love language that I often bring to Northeast Ohio. Anybody know who she is?
Only because of me.
Thanks. All right, well, I don't have no time to tell you about that. I'm also if I happen to have a bicycle on me, a living bike mobile, and if I happen to be carrying this on the end of a string, a living bike mobile. No, I don't. So I'm not. I'd love to tell you about this, but I don't have time. So I guess I'll tell you about the Moop Man. Moop Man Better? Don't, you're breaking it. Aw. Most people just think this is trash. I was at Burning Man where they used the phrase matter out of place. I think we need more candlelight vigils.
You don't have
Because we need less candlelight vigils.
Wow.
I think we need more kick the can. Because we need to play more kick the can. The game with the can is really, really fun. We played it all the time, like the 1920s, 30s, 50s, 60s, 70s, before the internet. I was at Burning Man. They used the term moot to mean matter out of place. What's the matter? And is it out of place? There, it's about, did we leave something that we built behind? Please pick it up, take it with you, because it might be years before anyone else saw it again. We do this all the time in our own backyards. You walk outside and it's very easy to find a piece of moop that somebody's left behind. Often, people might call it trash. Here's a poem. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as trash. There's no such place as away. There's a story that says that all living things are connected. I like this story. A story that says that I have my parents and my brothers and sisters and cousins. And if you go back far enough, you can imagine yourself as the long-distance cousin of Charlemagne. Further back, consider yourself a distant cousin of a bonobo, a chimpanzee, a great blue whale, a tobacco plant, a cotton plant, a tree, killed, taken down, wrapped up, bundled up, and smoked for what? For what prayer, what purpose, what unholy reason were these smoked? I don't know. Someone in our own very backyard smoked them, tossed them right out there about, I gathered them 20 minutes ago. These are the bodies of our cousins wrapped in our cousins wrapped in our cousins. Trash! Throw them away. Trash! Like my brothers and sisters living in the ghetto. Trash! Like all the people that we forget in prisons. Trash like our brothers and sisters living in third world countries dying because they don't have food in their bellies. Matter out of place? What's the matter? What's out of place? I know the tears inside me are out of place if I don't have somewhere to put them. And in public spaces, even here, I don't necessarily feel safe to share my tears. Not here. Too much. Too much. Too much. Not enough! Because we are enough. We can take it. But if we're only going to hurt ourselves with each other's pain and not commit to being with them, it is too much. You don't want to hear my pain. I want to hear your pain. Because I'm in this with you. We are in this together. Me, myself, and the Moop Man. And my spatula. See? Hey, yo.
So Michael, the Moop Man's work is, as you probably could tell, usually improvised, often involves props. I don't think at this point in time that will shock you. But you may not have been prepared for that, but sometimes the entrance is part of the fun. So thank you so much, Michael. On deck, we have Jeronimo coming to the stage right now. Please welcome Kristie.
I think this is my first open mic.
Woo!
Hey! Yo!
Welcome.
These are unedited writings from just the last couple days. And the first time I read them was when I recorded them today for Michael when he invited me and I wasn't sure if I was coming. So anyways. Let's see. I also write very tiny, so my apologies if I don't make enough eye contact. Anyways, my name is Kristie. I'm from Canton. I'm kind of used to being in front of people, but more in like the yoga context, but it's all yoga. It's all yoga. So I'm here just to step outside of my comfort zone. I'm kind of shaking in my boots a little bit, but it feels good. I feel alive. All right. The deep is calling to me. The pain knows my name. She sings to me, but not in vain. But to know me as the rain, the sunshine, the growing trees, to know me in all that this world needs. I've forgotten who this is that holds this pen. My heart and soul writes the letters. The I that was here then stands back now and bows to her, the voice within. Spirit bird, I know you. I've flown your flight, and when I see you soar, I remember. The darkness has the light. The moon, she shines even through the thickest of clouds. The liminal space between is the all of everything, where life began, where it ends, and where it begins again. You rise, my wings spread, and I fly. I fly with you, we fly together. In the deep and the dark, I heard you call to me. Your rhythm drummed me into being, remembering all that I am is all you are, and ever we shall be. We'll just do one more, because that's all I've got. I used to write a lot, pretty uncensored stuff, whatever, and then I became a mom. I have 2 little boys, they're 3.5 and 2, and I'm just kind of like coming back into the world. I don't like the term like coming back to myself, because that's me too, but there is more capacity for me to feel myself as an individual as well. So apparently there's also energy to write now. So here we go. I'll just let the words speak for themselves. Greatest of grandmothers, I'm calling to you now. Will you answer my longing? I've been hurting, and it's your grace that I'm craving. Where is your wisdom? Which generation do you hide in? Or is there wisdom in all of them? Have me not reject any of it or any of them. That is not what I wish. Yet the wisdom has felt lost from what my eyes saw and what my heart felt from my own grandmothers. So who is it that I'm calling to? I call to the earth wisdom, the guidance buried amidst the roots, the whispers hidden in the still waters and in the roaring sea, hidden in the darkness of night, inside the essence of life, found in that liminal space between womb and world, between maiden and mother. I'll not back away. I'll not disappear. I'll not hide my tears. I'll not blame my fears. I will stand, strong with the trees, as if it is their roots that anchor me. I will swim in the depths, as if the water and I are one. I will go in and in and in. will you help me this time? I wish to dive as deep as I can dive, as deeply as any of us can dive, and still breathe the breath of life.
All right, thank you so much, Kristie. On deck, we have Sugg coming to the mic right now. We have last month's feature. If you didn't catch it, all the videos are online. You can go to angrycowpoetry.com and check all of the past features out, and then this one will be out there for you at some point in time too. Please welcome to the stage, Jeronimo.
Yo. I'm Jeronimo. I'm a poet and tattoo artist from Cleveland, Ohio. My brother is calling me right now, of course. When you need your phone, that's when you get that phone call. Yeah, I'm happy to call you. He'll get over it. It's my older brother anyways. He won't feel the same way. All right. So this is a piece that I didn't get a chance to do yesterday. It was Halloween, right? So I wanted to write for Halloween. I wrote a few pieces for Halloween. So this is one of the pieces that I actually just finished writing on the car ride here. Shout out to Defining for driving. Right? So it's untitled. One Halloween evening, this vampire asked me for garlic. He was sick, because they be coughing so often. I thought it was a Jedi mind trick. I ain't believe him. So I drove a stake through Dracula's heart. He died. Turned out he was like Keith. Ironically, he was vegan. And it was a ribeye. So I started wrapping his body up. Didn't want to leave him up under bloody covers. But before I can, here comes his bloody mother. Now, I'm not British. They call her Bloody Mary. And it's kind of scary making sure I don't say her name 3 times, so please don't ask me for a rewind. But when she saw me, her dead son, she made a beeline straight for me. Walking kind of funny. So I wrapped her ass up too. Now, Dracula won't miss his mummy. Now I gotta hide 2 bodies. I take them to the cemetery. Soon as I get on the scene, I scream. Ben and Jerry's. I was hungry and all I could think of was Chunky Monkey, and my sweet tooth got cavities with deep roots. Anyways, I started digging a hole, but I was surprised by another body exposed. I suppose she should have had a headstone. It was a zombie. Her neck looked like she slept in the bed wrong. She said, I stay stoned, so I don't need a headstone. But I smoked the wrong type of weed, so now I'm dead wrong. From the flesh that was left, I could tell she was a red bone. I buried the bodies and started to head home, but got a call from my nigga Werewolf through my headphones. He said, Happy Halloween. I mean, it's time to find some ghouls that be gobbling. I said, nah, anytime I take you anywhere, you a beast. You be slobbing, and did you handle that little problem? You get that prescription. My girl's roommate still bitching about all that itching. He said, nigga, please. He said, nigga, please. She gave me that disease. I said, what you mean disease? I'm talking about the fleas. He said, never mind that. Tonight, let's get some witch's brew and go holler at the moon. I said, no, I got a room, and they having a party in the lobby. Plus, I don't want to do too much. I already caught a couple of bodies, and I met this zombie, a bit of a hottie, but necrophilia ain't never been one of my hobbies. But Werewolf, my dude, you probably like her. Might wife her, a one-nighter. He said, yeah, rigor mortis makes the coochie tighter. Plus, creative license, right? All right.
Did not expect that line.
He said, hell yeah, rigor mortis make the coochie tighter, plus zombie head be fired. Why do I even associate with you? He said, because we're both monsters, and horrible shit is what monsters do. I said, I'm not a monster. He said, shit, I made you my sponsor. All the crazy shit you done with no honor. You remember that one thing you had, green with the high beams? Yeah, her name was Swamp Thing. He said, yeah, that one night we swapped things. She used to play for the Monstars, but now she swapped teams. Nah, she retired. She said she was tired. of her feminine waters putting out your fire. Every time she extinguished, you light up even brighter. You see, you a lighter and a liar. But I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, because you already know the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world that he don't exist. I say, what you mean? What is this? He said, I'm just letting you know you're a monster, just like me. The difference is you full of shit. You think your greatest evil is because of the dollar sign. But that doesn't explain Columbine, 400 years of slavery in Palestine, massacres in churches or at a mosque, massacres on Valentine's. I'ma be Frank tonight, but you'll be Frankenstein. This is just a reality check. You already killed 2 people tonight, right? I say, well, why Dracula's always biting necks? You got that answer? He said it's easy, because he's in love and he's a neck romancer. Your mother's nature's and your own society's cancer. Look, you don't even aware of what you're doing, what you're consuming. The only reason a house is haunted because of humans. Scarecrows are in the shape of people. Even the way you deal with other animals is deceitful. So you may think you're not a monster, but it takes a werewolf to tell you that you're damn sure evil. And that's that piece.
Jeronimo, as you can tell, is amazing. Make sure you check out the video from the last month, which was fantastic, as is tonight. On deck, we have our feature. We'll bring Nelly back up. But coming to the mic right now, we have January's feature, so come back every month. Normally 7 o'clock, which is a special time for tonight. But please welcome Sugg.
Standing on the corner. So that's just like an inside joke with me and my great grandmother. But I am Sugar Water Baby, aka Sugg. Everybody say, I know that ain't my tablecloth. I know that ain't my tablecloth. Alright, if you get it, you get it. You get it.
But eat on her tablecloth.
So I used to write a lot of sad poems because I was depressed. I guess I didn't realize I was depressed until I'm like, Dad, I don't write no happy poems. So I wrote this poem, and it's kind of like I call it my praying poem. It's like a blessing. So when I speak this poem, I hope it touches everybody and it blesses them. So this is my praying poem. Today, I'll give you a poem. I'll give you a poem about the highs of happiness. A childish, carefree poem about climbing trees and the birds and the bees. Fairy godmothers and affirmations. No mermaids and black magic. Today, I'll give you a poem about possibilities. Or more so, how God answers prayers. I'll give you a poem about finally being able to catch that falling star. And the windfalls of free falling down waterfalls into the calming streams of redemption. Today, I'll give you a poem about fisher of men who walk on water, making true believers out of bodies of sin. I'll give you a poem about overcoming obstacles. Like how drunken mantels make the best of Bible stories about differences and diversity, about change, how it's both necessary and a good thing. Today, I'll give you a poem about the colors of autumn leaves. Or comfort, like my granny's cookbook, about beauty, creative, alternative aspects and outlooks. Today, I'll give you a poem about my grandmother's hands, how they became rigid and honest from putting prayers into action. Or about my mother's skin, how it became easy from gratitude gifting her existence with acceptance and appreciation. Today, I'll give you a poem and it will lack nothing. Not love or trust, not confidence or charisma, not understanding or patience. This poem is layered. It is a prayer. This poem is a protection spell. It has boundaries and conditions, a standard that at all times must be upheld. This poem is portable, carried in your pockets. When you need it, you can pull it out, hold it in your hands, close your eyes and make a wish. Today, this poem is a wish come true. It is not the color blue, but more of a calming lavender. It is black seed oil, rose water, rose quartz crystals, 24 karat gold, infused Florida waters, gray A. This poem is an open window in sage. It is black salt circled around nostalgia. A garden of hope that constantly grows wilder. Nurture and nutrients. Photosynthesis. A breastfeeding mother a breastfed baby, a protected father, a sister circle. This poem is my brother's keeper. It is living and thriving. It is a survival story with no survival guilt. It is a counter curse kill switch for every negative spoken word. This poem contains fabric cut from one of God's cloaks. It has been soaked in lilac, then lined in silk gold. This poem was sown and reaped through the mind of God and steam pressed by angel hands. My name is Tiffany, and Tiffany means gift of God. And this poem was heaven sent. Thank you.
So if you come back January, you get to hear Sugg as a feature for the whole night. Next month, Ephraim Nehemiah, one of the top poets out there in like the traveling world, is coming in from Baltimore. So worth the trip out here again. I know some of you go further than others. I do want to make sure we have plenty of time left for our feature, so we are going to bring back to the mic in just 1 second. We're going to bring our feature back. Suggested $5 donation. That all goes to our poets, our featured poet. We do pay our poets here, so help me pay the poet, those of you that are able and willing. You can throw it in the bucket. You can buy something off the merch table and help me pay the poet. That works too. Please welcome back to the stage, Nelly B the Artist.
But thank y'all so much. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling after the open mic?
Yeah.
I think my favorite part is just the fact that everyone's just different. Everyone's so different. Nobody's the same. Nobody's ever the same. And so you get to see outside of yourself just how poetry can be expressed. Like there's no limitation, you know? Artistry as a whole, but particularly right now, poetry, because music's poetry too. So, this time I am going to start off with a poem that I wrote as convicted. I had to take accountability for some decisions that I made relationally, romantically, mainly, like that's what it portrays, but also just relationally in general. And again, how I prefaced before, this is the piece of every woman's story. This one, I'm pretty sure the men can relate to as well. But I'm a woman, I don't know what it's like to be a man. I can only imagine that the pressure is high, but here we go. This is an I love you poem. This is you are my everything, so I give you everything and leave me with nothing poem. This is I searched so deep within you, took so many different routes to get through that I lost me. But thank God I finally found you poem. So I just thank God that I finally found you poem. Because see, when self-love runs out and leaves you, I love you becomes I need you. But it is not self-love that turns deceitful. It is you who refuses to retrieve you. Then there's bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle full of empty, your caps left unscrewed, your labels screaming, fill me. A thirst for fulfillment. A quench, non-resistant. Your masks are now existent. So your fine print starts to relay a message quite different, yet it's written as feel me, but it's interpreted as feel me. You feel me? See, that's that tactic we use to disguise our introduction to true feeling. And then somehow it later justifies the lack of one's own healing. All right, yeah, that was me. misconstruing consequences of how many pieces we're both missing, refusing to listen for the sake of superficial ambitions, forgetting external decisions are actually the manifestation of internal conditions, shaming what is not presented instead of blaming what self has not fully even given. Clouding my intuition, my Holy Spirit imprisoned by the sins I've been committing ever since I committed to loving my Father first. All because I was too immature to experience what the grace of God's forgiveness is worth without abusing it. Dang. Now you feel convicted too, huh? You could have discounted his feelings too, huh? That's why I deem it so vital to know the difference, that lust is the mission behind reckless instillment, that love is the vision beyond hopeless resilience. It's okay. It's okay to still be tempted of the remnants left behind by your skin's impurities, that the darkest, deepest stains beneath those passively secret chains tie you down at mirror level with your enemies, because y'all twinning for real. It's okay to not resist your heart's insecurities. Because what's the point of praying, God reveal it, and crying out for healing when we only choose to love relief and remedies? But that's the part we never seem to mention. That the only one cure requires pain. That pain that penetrates every vessel in vain, that stimulates our brains in ways that fight or flight us into a permanent change of redemption that qualifies our benediction. And that is when I cried. Not because my love did not try, but because my love resides with or without my compliance. Turns out I just had to sleep for me to open my eyes. Turns out I just had to die for my heart to be revived, for me to realize that love does not lie. People do. And our lovely lies just became my unpleasant truth. And don't get it twisted now. I am not saying I don't love him. I'm just saying. And now, I love me too.
Yeah.
This is my heart's recital. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jesus. Yo, I almost cried, I ain't gonna lie. My God.
Don't watch my feature, because I cried in the end like a baby.
Did you?
Wow, it's
Good for
powerful.
you.
Because, honey, I was about to let loose, all right? They was about to come stroke me. Y'all be like, girl, what's wrong with you? I feel it in my veins. I can still relate to that. My God. All right, y'all. Forewarning, it's about to get a little dark, okay?
Hell yeah, let's go.
Because,
we got candles and shit.
like,
You say dark or dork?
dork. Like the light's about to get dimmed down a little bit.
Dang it.
Okay.
Dork. No, but who came up here and said that? Oh, it was you, Sugg, who said you realized that you were depressed because you were like, dang, I ain't write any happy poems. Yeah. I went in the boat and I was like, ooh, sis, you were hurting. Thank God for healing. Thank God for Jesus. Thank God. Thank God for the process. Fall in love with the process.
Won't he will.
So, yeah, we're gonna do this. Okay, this one ain't that bad. I'm gonna do this one first. Then I'm gonna move on to the next one. Okay, we're gonna start here. All right. The sound of your voice strokes me like a subtle wind in the spring. You know, I was genuinely confused when we first met, because then you'd be. And when you'd be, your presence, that candid presence, it blew stronger than the wings on a private jet. I mean, I was low-key like, he's too loud. But in spirit and in truth. And we ain't even in private yet. But wait a minute, cause we ain't in public either. Cause with a girl like me, I mean a woman like me, nah. See, with the beautiful brown-skinned queen like me, you gon' wanna love in secret, apparently. Guess I stepped too bold the way I accepted you whole on the spot. Disarray from my sun rays, yet you can't help but thrive from the seeds in my pot. The type of love that makes you hot, makes you want to strip down and rip off every layer of protection you think you got against me until you're up against me. For what I need, you spend. For what I bring, you spend. For what I leave, you spend. And you spend, and you spend, and you spend, and you spend, and you expand until you drop everything you thought you knew, thought you wanted, everything you thought you were, but you were wrong. Now that paintbrushes and them red wine gon' always make you want to sing my song like, sipping as I listen, catch my rhythm and a tempo. Ripple me with tension just a little, put my mental in a pickle. Your vibe, it's the type to create a riddle. Like, I constantly have to fiddle with encrypted messages just to meet you in the middle, trying to make I care for you sound like I'm there for you. I think you might just be the reason I feel like I'm scared of truth, mystery guy. My mystery guy. I still can't tell if you're bad for me. Hearts of gold, our souls make endless love without a physical touch, but those emotional walls, baby, they exceed my mental capacity. Yet I can't describe how my pieces still wind up found amidst your loss. Almost like we're paying mine, but reaping growth at no cost. And now I understand why. Our bodies rocking, fingers locking, nah. You're asking, we don't chill like sunny topping, I like that, now right back. Read my body language to recite that love story. That you make me better, even when things get tough story. Do me a favor. As long as it brings the man upstairs glory, won't you journal me into your heart with the most permanent of ink? Cover me in clear coat so I never fade nor seep into that forgotten place where destiny lies dormant, that dungeon, that hell, that fiery pit of torment. I just want to love you like God so loved this world, sacrificed my flesh and blood, be pride, let freedom ring. I want you to allow me to finish this song I began to sing, 'cause I'm in the mood for you. So I just hope with every strength I have left that you are too, for me. Mood swings.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that one wasn't that bad. But it's about to get real. If there's an impact, a print, all man was made to step upon this earth, I have failed. Time and time again to see my own. Blind. I can never seem to find the results of the sacrifices I once offered and do. Pursuits of love.
Like this.
Who's number one? I never learned to reside in accordance with your language of love, so you constantly reminded me how it feels to be evicted, how you were never truly my home to begin with. So are we even now? Bruise number two. You needed my soul to squeeze into that box your ego placed around yours, but I just could not stop becoming everything you feared past you? To finally convince me to fear me too? Bruise number 3. Too early did you teach me the truth about the size of a girl like me. That this outstretched heart would be the reason this body shrinks so small, this body's worth would inevitably slip between the world's fingers. Is it what you hoped for me? To believe holding on tighter would prevent me from falling. Disposable presence, disposable trust, disposable body, disposable love. Space is limited, so disposal is a must. See, Daddy always made me believe if it ain't a stick or a stone. So starvation just had this way of making curses takes like temporary promises that can mend this broken heart. My disposable roots reap, disposable trees grow, disposable leaves and comes and leaves and comes and leaves and comes until I can't help but feel like I am tug of warring myself apart. Disposable me, the disposable seed to vine to weed turned art. Grandmama taught me to make clay of my garden soil, but what's the point of being a potter who never lets the refiner solidify what she starts? For these vines, they have wrapped me up in the tightest of uncertainties until my insides begin to spill their twisted reflections across the canvas of my mental. For I am painted of fields filled with dandelion. It's like the petals keep drawing pictures of my brokenness in the way they are made to mean nothing to their motherland, as their worth is blown and their strength is bent and their caressing life ever defiling winds. As my worth is plucked, I am pretty enough to break. Never made me believe I could carry life's weight, but far too long have I snipped my petals and shriveled my stems, making room for this weather to outlive me. It is time for my freedom to see the seeds of forgotten sin, just as my father did. It is time I dance to the rhythm of what is held within. If I am every man's treasure, I must be made of treasure. If I am every man's trash, I must be made of treasure. Therefore, hi, you can call me Nelly B, no longer insecure.
All right.
Peace is a piece of my testimony. I was raped when I was about 17 years old, and recently I realized that you can go through a healing process and think that you're done, and then you get triggered by something and you realize remnants still are floating around somewhere. And it comes out in the way that you project onto other people. It comes out in the way that you treat yourself, which still affects other people, and it affects your course of life and everything. So, yeah. This is a piece of that, me just spilling that out onto the pages. My God, I can feel pieces of you still lingering within me, diving deeper into my chamber of secrets, digging and scraping out all the walls I left behind, and I wonder, why are you still here? Kicking and stomping around, screaming such horrific sounds, hoping the heavens will hear your cries, crying as if the tables have turned, as if it is I who has held you hostage. My God, how I have held you hostage. Oh, I should have known better than to make you the victim, than to leave your residuals festering about my insides, to leave my heart shackled within pride, which left you tied to everything you were the moment you sacrificed mine. Never granted you an inch beyond these shallows of skin, yet my soul refuses to let you get away to the you of today. But how do I apologize for the way you chose to hurt me? How do I tell your side of the story? A two-sided story. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. It is not as heavy as it was when I wrote it. I think that was a lot of me partaking in the release of it. Because if you notice at the end there's a switch, there's accountability. And I have authority. I have the authority to embrace healing. I have the authority to not agree to trauma and not identify myself by that.
Amen.
All right.
And so I think that me writing that first half of it was me in the emotional victim mindset, even though I was a victim. And then because I was able to release that and leave room for perspective shift, God was able to show me what I'm holding on to and say, sis, you have the right to let go. So thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. I enjoyed this crowd. It's so small and intimate. I really love that about it. And I can tell everybody just appreciates what everyone has to offer, and that is enough. And so here's to being enough. Yes.
All right.
Woo! Woo! Thank y'all so much. Social media. I always forget this part. Okay.
Nelly B the Artist.
Yep, that. Nelly B the Artist. All one word. Every platform. Well, I only got Instagram. And I got TikTok, but like barely. And then Facebook, you can type in Nelly B the Artist. It'll still come up. Just type in Nelly B the Artist. That's the easiest way to do it. Again, all one word. All right. Thank y'all so much. I loved it here. I feel so welcome. I will be back. I don't know when, but I'm going to come back because I really enjoy this space and I want to support as much as I can. Thank you.